Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. As you guys can see up on the screen today, we are going to be talking about this tweet from CLOUD9 that actually happened during, maybe just a little bit after, but I think it was during the most recent G2 and Fnatic game where Jankos absolutely popped off. What did he go, like 10-0, 12-0, something on Olaf? He had this absolutely disgusting double kill, 2v1 in the bot lane pretty late into the game. But, I mean, G2 and Fnatic just, G2 and Jankos just absolutely outclassed Fnatic. They smashed them from the beginning of the game to the end. And it was really just, I mean, it was like a highlight reel for Jankos, and it got, obviously, the whole Twitter world, Reddit, the whole League of Legends community kind of buzzing, talking about just how great G2 and Jankos are and how good they can be, you know, when they're going all out, when they're really trying their hardest, and also when they're focused, which really seemed like they were against Fnatic, especially all the memes and stuff. But we have talked about, you know, previously potentially Jankos maybe leaving G2 in the offseason, maybe G2 getting rid of him for, you know, however many different reasons or options or whatever. But Cloud9, they're getting in a little bit in on the action, obviously, with this little tweet at G2 Jankos. Hey, obviously, I know a lot of it is a meme, a lot of it is just joking around in this video today. I just want to talk about how likely something like this is to happen. Is this something realistic? Is this completely unrealistic? Is it something that even would be possible to happen? I'll be giving my thoughts and opinions on the whole situation, and hopefully be getting the thoughts and opinions of you guys as well. Before we get into that, I just want to mention real quick, if you guys have not already, make sure you click that subscribe button really quick. I think like 65% of the people that watch my videos aren't subscribed, which is great. That means my videos are continuing to grow and reach more and more people that aren't even subscribed to me. That is awesome, but it also means that we still have a ton of room to grow in terms of just subscriber numbers. Now, that number doesn't really mean that much at the end of the day, but hey, you know, I got an ego to feed. I would love, you know, to run that subscriber number up if we can. So if you guys do enjoy my content, if you want to see more of my videos and stuff, you might as well click subscribe if you watch my stuff anyway, because apparently, you know, a lot of you guys already do. Also, smashing the like button helps out a ton as well. With that being said, let's get right into this. So this tweet came during that game. It got people talking. Later, they like retweeted it. Obviously, that got like Carlos and Jankos and everyone talking because people did see it. There was this clip from Jankos that I wanted to watch real quick. I don't know how many of you guys saw this. I honestly didn't see this until today. This happened a couple of days ago. I guess it was just yesterday. But we can show this as well because I did think this is pretty funny, but also just feeds in on the memes and stuff a little bit more. And again, I do understand it's memes. I understand that it's jokes, but understand that in every joke and in every meme, there's at least a hint of truth. This is at least something that I think all these parties and sides are entertaining. And honestly, it wouldn't be the craziest move. Even though, you know, at face value, yeah, Jankos leaving G2 maybe seems a little unrealistic. Maybe going to Cloud9 seems a little unrealistic, whatever. Caps leaving Fnatic seemed unrealistic. Reckless leaving Fnatic seemed unrealistic. Perks going to AD Carry seemed unrealistic. Perks going to Cloud9 seemed unrealistic. Like, you guys, I mean, we've been through this multiple times. The craziest, most, you know, most absurd things, they have some chance to happen. So I think it's kind of foolish to not, at least not entertain these things, even if they are kind of being brought up as jokes and stuff right now. Because again, the offseason is what, 9 months away, 10 months away. So much could change in these next 10 months that makes this a more and more realistic situation. And these teams, these owners, these players, they all understand that. That's why they keep all these different options open. But anyway, let's watch this clip from Jankos. I do think it is pretty funny.
What the fuck? The fuck? Wait, let me just call someone.
So stupid.
Hey, Jack. Yeah, I know Parik is already playing for your team. You know, I just had like this incident with G2. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, it's weird, man. I'm not sure what to do. Oh, you got my back? Okay, thanks, man. Thanks. Okay, well, talk to you later. Bye-bye, I'm streaming. Yeah. Don't worry. Okay, I'm back, guys. Oh, shit, I didn't move my mic. Ah, shit, guys.
So, obviously, Jankos is very funny. Obviously, he's playing into the jokes. He just mess around. But, you know, him saying that he called Jack, he's like, oh, yeah, you know, Perks already is playing for you guys. I'd love to come over. I'm having some problems with G2. And again, it's funny, but it also does make a lot of sense because Perks is such a big part of this Cloud9 team now. They want to keep him happy. They want to keep him playing with him. And I'm sure, you know, things are going really, really well for Cloud9 right now. I'm sure Perks is loving Blaber and things are going good. Things are going well. But would Perks maybe like to play with Jankos once again if that opportunity does arise? Would Cloud9 be a better team with Jankos instead of Blaber? You know, that's very, very opinionated. Who knows exactly? Also, I think the import conversation and discussion does play into this a little bit. Yes, Cloud9 has some very, very good North American talent in Blaber, in Vulcan, and guys like that, but Jack is pushing for this import rule for a reason. Yes, it is to help save him some money and stuff, but is it because maybe he has some other imports on his radar? Do they want to maybe make a push for some more guys? Obviously, people would say top lane would be the most likely position to get upgraded in Fudge right now, but they could see Fudge as like their top laner for the future. And yes, Blaber is great and he's very, very talented. If we take a look at the stats right now, I mean, he's doing an awesome job. I mean, at this point, 12 games into the season, he is the best jungler in North America, and I don't think there's much conversation about that. He has the most kills. He has the most assists as well, highest CS per minute, highest gold per minute. Second highest KP, only behind Closer, but an insane damage percentage, insane damage per minute. 483 DPM for a jungler is absolutely absurd. His stats at 15 minutes are insane. Highest gold differential, highest CSD, highest XP differential. He has what, third highest first blood percentage. And yeah, he also has 4 solo kills to go on top of that. So his stats are just insane. He is the best jungler in North America right now, but I will remind you guys that he was also the best jungler in North America in the spring of last year. He was very, very good, and obviously that really carried into the summer split a little bit, but he did not end the summer split as the best jungler in North America, in my opinion. I do think Santorin was a little bit better. Definitely going into the playoffs, I wouldn't say he was the best jungler, and then again, he didn't even get a chance to compete at Worlds. Now, it sucked we didn't see him at MSI, because he did earn the opportunity to compete at MSI. Obviously, Corona had something to say about that. We never got to see that, but he didn't earn the right to play at Worlds, and I wish we could have got to see him a little bit more international competition, because that is one of the big questions about younger players like Blaber is however good they do in North America, can they continue to do that? Especially when you're looking at like Blaber versus Jankos, how Blaber's doing in North America versus how Jankos is doing in Europe. Most people, pretty much everybody, would say that the LEC is overall a stronger league than the LCS. So, just because Blaber's dominating North America, does that mean he would be doing the exact same? I mean, he would be a good player anywhere, without a doubt. But would he be dominating to the same level over in Europe? Who knows? Is he going to be able to dominate at this level, say, internationally, at MSI or Worlds? Probably not, but how good or bad is he going to do? Who knows? Where with Jankos, you kind of know what you're getting. Yes, Jankos has maybe been a little bit inconsistent here or there, against the very, very best teams in the world, your Damwon Gamings, your FPX, and stuff like that. Maybe Jankos hasn't always exactly showed up his very, very best, but he has played very, very good in the games leading up to those matches just to get G2 into that position. He has been insanely consistent. He has an absolutely massive champ pool. And they also play, pretty different styles. So depending on what your team wanted to do and things like that, you couldn't really go wrong with either one of these guys. But they do, Cloud9 did go on to have another tweet, if I could find it, where they said we have our own Jankos, which I thought was funny because, yes, obviously Cloud9 does have an absolute superstar jungler right now in Blaber. But again, it's a long season. It's a long year. Will Blaber be able to keep this form up for the whole season? Who knows? If Cloud9 wins the LCS and they go on to MSI, will he get hard exposed at MSI? Will, other teams internationally show a way to shut down Blaber, a way to stop Cloud9 by not allowing Blaber to make some of these crazy, aggressive, insane plays that he's able to do? Or will he continue to just shine and shine and shine? Because, if Blaber continues to be the best jungler in North America and proves himself as a force internationally, then obviously Cloud9's good to go. They have Blaber signed until 2023. There's nothing they need to do there. They're all good. There would be no need for Jankos, but then Jankos would still have other options. Team Liquid's always going to be there. There's some other North American teams. There's some other European teams, and staying with G2 is always going to be an option. But G2 knows that they can get a bunch of money by selling off Jankos. They know that they're at least possibly going to have the opportunity to go get a guy like Self-Made. But again, you're just kind of deciding who do you like more between Jankos, Self-Made. Self-Made probably has a bright, longer future ahead of him because Jankos has kind of already talked about not playing forever, retiring sooner rather than later, being a streamer, all that stuff. He has more going for him, where Self-Made is still kind of that hungry guy who wants to win LEC titles, wants to do stuff internationally. And not that Jankos doesn't, but Jankos really just has Worlds out there as his next big goal. But also, heading to North America, collecting a multi-million-dollar paycheck like Perkz is able to do right now, I'm sure that wouldn't sound too bad for him either, especially because, a lot of people say North America is much more relaxed overall as a region than, say, like Europe or Korea or China or anything like that. So, in some ways, it can be good. When we take a look at the European stats right now, kind of get an idea of how Jankos is doing, how Blaber is pretty much the uncontested number one jungler in North America right now. Jankos is not necessarily that. He is pretty good, but I think there's definitely a case to be made that Inspired is the best, at least the best jungler in the regular season right now. Obviously, Selfmade's always going to be in the discussion, but Jankos is right there with them. I would also argue that Jankos, headed into the playoffs, is always going to be a different beast, a different animal, and his experience is something that I definitely don't take for granted. But Jankos has second highest CS per minute. He has the highest gold per minute, which is always a really, really important stat. He has the third highest damage percentage, but G2 is obviously a team that does an insane amount of damage, so that doesn't really mean too much. He's the second highest DPM, only behind Razork. And then as far as the stats at 15 minutes, Jankos is not as impressive as Blaber in all of these categories. CSD, he is third. XP differential, he's number 1. And gold differential, he is 4th. But again, Europe might be a little bit harder. G2 is obviously a very, very different team than Cloud9. They play around their junglers different and they need different things. So, there is a give and take. Stats only tell so much of the story. In the end, obviously, both of these guys are insane junglers. You would not be bad off with either one of these guys, but it's just going to be interesting to see how both of these rosters kind of work out. I think a big part of the story is going to be how these two teams play out the rest of the year. If G2, goes on and win Worlds or something and Jankos just absolutely balls out, they're going to be fine. If G2, gets knocked out of the semifinals at Worlds again, if Jankos maybe looks like he doesn't have it, if G2 is maybe ready to move on from him for whatever reason, to a self-made, to maybe another jungler out there that they can throw a bunch of money at because they'll have the money by selling off Jankos, then I think something like this could be more realistic. Also, if Team Liquid, if Cloud9, whoever comes to them with a multi-million-dollar offer, that's going to be hard for G2 to pass up, especially because, again, at the end of the day, they are a business. They are trying to make money, and it's just, millions of dollars are hard to come by right now in the esports industry. Then, again, same thing on the other side for Cloud9. What level of consistency is Blaber to keep up? Is he able to keep up over the course of the year? And then also, what does Perks think? What does Perks have to say? Are Perks and Blaber able to coexist as these two aggressive, insane players over the whole course of the year? Or does Cloud9 kind of have to pick and decide whether they want to play around the Perks or the Blaber? What exactly is going on? Can these guys, coexist as these two crazy, insane madmen? Because again, right now it's working out. Cloud9 is looking great in the LCS. I think they're like 10-2 right now. Something crazy like that with 6 games to go. They've been looking insane. Perks has been great. Blaber's been great. The best jungler in the league, best mid laner in the league. And if they can keep this up, that would be awesome. But again, this is exactly what we saw from Cloud9 last spring split, and for whatever reason, things didn't really work out going into the summer split, and from there on out. Obviously, this is a different team. Perks is a whole different beast, and they have some different pieces, so you're not necessarily going to see the same things. But I do, in the end, I guess I do think that C9 Jankos is pretty unlikely. I think he would be a great fit on Cloud9, but I just don't really see why Cloud9 would do it when they already have Blaber locked up long term. Blaber's already a beast. I think he's really, really great. But I know that, Jack likes selling off players at their peak. If he thinks he can get a bunch of money for Blaber, I think he would at least entertain the offers to maybe sell him off, only if he knew he could go get a guy like Jankos out there. Because while I do think Blaber is great, I still would rather have Jankos than him most likely, especially if I'm a team trying to compete internationally, trying to win MSI, trying to win World, something like that. Blaber is awesome, but, the experience, the just pedigree of a guy like Jankos, I don't think Blaber's quite there yet. Now, again, Blaber has this MSI, he has this Worlds to prove me and everyone else differently, but I think their track records, speak for themselves. Yes, Blaber has been great, but Jankos has been better. And again, doing that in Europe, doing that at MSI, doing that at Worlds, where Blaber hasn't really done those things yet. But again, you can't really go wrong with either one of these guys, so whatever your opinion is, I wouldn't say you're like too stupid or anything like that. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed it. I would appreciate it so much. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. It's honestly the best and easiest way to help support my channel and my content, if that's something that you're interested in doing. Leave a comment down below. How likely do you think C9 Jankos is? Do you think it's gonna happen? Do you think it's likely to happen? Do you think it's impossible? Do you think it's maybe possible? Do you think it's interesting? Do you think it's uninteresting? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Who do you think's better, Jankos, Blaber? Let me know what you guys are thinking. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace!